Are you surprised?
Look, I believe that the president is literally an existential threat to America.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Let's put up Charles Lindbergh and the 1940s Nazi sympathizers. They were also called Make America First.
Why do you think he uses the term America First, which is taken from history back when Nazi Germany was rising?
I checked with a historian, Ruth Ben-Gayat, and she said that language that he's using echoes language used in Nazi propaganda.
I'm sorry, is that straight out of Nazi Germany? This is not a reach. I could go back and talk about Nazi Germany, and I do it without any concerns whatsoever. And if people can't start drawing the parallels, well, you're just stupid.
You don't replace dissatisfaction with a dictatorship.
Take a look at what happened.
Shouldn't be. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I really was not intending on making this video today. I actually had a couple other videos I wanted to make, but in light of recent events, I figured it was probably the best idea to do. Saturday, July 13th. We saw something happen on live TV that I don't think any of us were expecting. I take that back. I think everybody was expecting it. It's just the shock of the moment. We knew something like this was going to happen. We're going to get into everything. We're going to talk about the shooter. We're going to talk about the left. We're going to talk about the right. We're going to analyze things that are going on right now. And hopefully, I want at the end to give a glimmer of hope. Because we need it, and there's more than a glimmer. There is a massive hope for a big change that could be coming from all this. So let's start. Saturday, we saw a deranged guy climb up in PA on top of a building and take shots at Donald Trump. Thankfully, Donald Trump wasn't really injured. He got hit in the ear, but he wasn't really injured. Unfortunately, others were, and another person lost their life. To that family, our thoughts go out to you guys. I couldn't even imagine. But what drove this? What caused all this? This guy, sure, I mean, we could theorize that this guy was just deranged, that he, got his orders from the Wendy's salad bar or some shit. We could make that case, and I'm sure they probably will eventually. I don't think that's what's happening here. The political discourse is frightening anymore, and it's frightening for a reason. It seems like whenever a political side can't argue on their actual policies and their actual achievements, they go instead to defame the other party. Try to be as nasty as possible and make people believe that your opponent is this vile, evil, and in this case, the second coming of Hitler. Seriously, how many times have we heard that Donald Trump is the second coming of Hitler? I hear it multiple times a day. I see it and I read it online, on Twitter or now X, whatever. Was some of the most sickening display of people pouring out in support of the shooter and disappointed that the shooter actually missed. I mean, come on. There is no reason for all that. You're posting this on public platforms. Everybody in the world can see you. If you think that you are doing your party a favor by going online and pretending that you are upset because the shooter missed, you are totally missing the point, and you've lost the message. You've completely lost the message. What ended up happening, we've seen, like I said, so many times, more times than I can count. Trump is a Nazi. Trump is going to end civil rights. Trump is going to get rid of the LGBTQ community. Trump is going to put y'all back in chains. Our President Joe Biden said that little tidbit. This whole thing about Trump's 2025 project, the man has already publicly come out and said that he has no skin in the game on Project 2025. He doesn't even agree with most of the things that they're saying. He doesn't think that they'll work, and he thinks that they're pointless. What does he have to do to show you guys? I know the answer. The answer is nothing. There's nothing that he could possibly do to prove to you guys that he is not the monster that you guys have made him out to be. There's just nothing. In your head, you've got it set. He is the monster. He is Stalin. He is Lenin. He is the second coming of Hitler. You know, and when you push these lies, when you put in their lies, let's make this absolutely clear. And like I said, I have no skin in the game. I am not left. I am not right. I am trying to be as down the middle as possible here. And it is really, really hard when you demonize somebody in the political landscape. We're not talking about, you know, a Twitter feud. We're talking about globally. Not something that, you know, you and your buddies are arguing on Facebook. We're talking politics here, okay? This is the future of our country and how it goes. How can we possibly make an informed vote when the only options and the only information that we're getting is on the left, he's a demented, senile old man, and on the right we have literally Hitler, is the way you guys phrase it. Literally Hitler. How can anybody make an informed vote on that? We have no idea what Joe Biden plans on doing for his policies. We have no clue. Most of the people have no idea what Trump plans to do for his policies. And the reason why is because nobody, aside from the right-wing media, is covering what Trump is actually going to do for his policies. They're only covering that he is Hitler. Now, when you go out and you make people believe that the literal country is at stake, that if Donald Trump gets back into the office, we're not going to have any more elections. When you make people believe that, when you make people believe that he is really Hitler, and he idolizes dictators and authoritarians like that, what is the next action? What is the actionable steps that you take in removing and getting rid of Hitler? What just happened? What just happened on Saturday? We watched this scenario play out. And forever, everybody has been saying, you guys have got to stop this. You guys have got to stop the lies. And once again, they are lies. Trump is not a threat to democracy. Trump is not a threat to America. For Christ's sake, he was president for 4 years. Don't you think that if he was going to do the stuff that you guys are claiming that he was going to do, he would have done them the first time he was in office? Not, oh man, I lost the election, let's hope I can get in because then I want to do all these stuff. He already had the power to do it. He didn't do it. Come on, think, people. Let's use our big boy brains and big girl brains and let's think about this like real logical people. He's already been in office. He's not getting rid of abortion. He is the one that sent abortion back to the states. So each state can individually vote on it depending on what each individual state's citizens want. You don't get any more democratic than that. You don't get any more democratic than that. Democracy, which we're not really a democracy, we're a constitutional republic, so let's get that straight. But we vote democratically. In a democracy, one rule over the entire country by the leader is not democracy. Giving it back to the people and having them decide. That is, by definition, democracy. All right, so let's talk about a couple of the things. Trump's Project 2025. I've got a post on X pulled up here, and I'm going to try to get it put on the screen. Like I said, my editing skills are not great. Okay, so Trump's Project 2025, right here on X, it's got a picture of Donald Trump. It's got plan for Trump's second term, Trump's Project 2025. All right, just starting there, this is dishonest. Already, this is dishonest. The man has already came out and said that he has nothing in on Project 2025. He did not design it. He does not necessarily even agree with it. He doesn't think most of the things would work, okay? But let's just show. This, by the way, was posted on the 12th by Joe Biden, the day before some dude tried to assassinate Trump. All right, so let's read just a couple of the things here, just some of the crazier ones. Purge the government of thousands of civil servants and replace them with unqualified far-right MAGA loyalists. Come on. Send the Justice Department after Trump's political enemies. Again. Pardon violent January 6 criminal insurrectionists. Once again, this is verbatim. I am reading this verbatim from Joe Biden's post. Pack the Supreme Court and lower courts with MAGA extremists. All right, already, does this sound like somebody that you would go and you would pray for? Does this sound like somebody like Joe Biden and all the leftists did? Which is another interesting point if you think about it. Do you pray for Hitler's, to get well? Do you pray for Mussolini to get better after he catches one in the ear? No. Again, proving that they don't believe their own words. They don't believe their own words. Because if they did, they wouldn't be sending prayers his way. If they really believed that he was the things that they say he is, they wouldn't even be wanting to talk to him. For God's sakes, Joe Biden called him Donald the other day. I'm going to go try to get a hold of Donald after he gets done with his doctors. Now, come on. Is that how you speak about literally Hitler and the man that is going to totally dismember the country, make it so there's no more elections, civil rights are gone, this whole baloney? All right, let's keep going. Rip away health care from tens of millions. Remove protections from pre-existing conditions. Abolish the Department of Education. Implement and expand book bans. Go after marriage equality. So they're saying that he's going to get rid of gay marriage. I'm pretty sure he was one of the only people that was supporting gay marriage before even Barack Obama supported gay marriage. End climate protections and gut clean energy programs. Withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord, which I actually agree with unless they decide to start paying their own way and doing the same things that they're expecting us to do. Deregulate big corporations and the oil industry. Send the U.S. military after anti-Trump protests. They're saying here, and this is not the most egregious one. We'll post a couple more up, and I'll show them, hopefully within the video, you guys will be able to see it. But these aren't even the most egregious ones. These aren't even close to being the most egregious ones. But already, from Joe Biden, this is coming from Joe Biden's X or Twitter account, that he is going to be a fascist, that he's going to be a dictator. There's nothing further from the truth. There's nothing further from the truth. It's this rhetoric that caused this person to climb a roof with a rifle and try to shoot Donald Trump in the head. It is this exact rhetoric that caused it. You can blame Republicans all you want. You can blame Donald Trump's rhetoric. And yes, he gets spicy. He says some shit that I don't think he should say. For the love of God, I get into arguments all the time about this because he says something that is like, why the hell would you say it? Even though you mean something totally different, why would you say it like that, just giving these other people the ammo to use against you? So I do think that he puts his foot in his mouth a lot of the times. But when you're comparing the rhetoric from the left to the right, I mean, there's no comparison here. There's no comparison here. Calling somebody Sleepy Joe and calling somebody Adolf Hitler. Which one carries more weight? I wonder. Saying that somebody is going to ruin the country by his liberal policies and his progressive policies, and saying that he's going to abolish elections and remove civil rights. Which one seems a bit worse? When you're going around telling people that he's going to end women's rights, he's going to end civil rights, he's going to end the Department of Education, he's going to get rid of the gay community, he's going to put immigrants in internment camps. That's one of the most crazy things that I think I've ever heard. I mean, seriously, if this stuff is true, then they need to show with proof, and when I mean show, I mean prove that he said these things. I'm sure there's some video or some audio somewhere that can prove it, right? Why can't you guys ever prove it? Why is it always here? This is what he's going to do. This is what he's going to say. Okay, how do you know that? Because I do. Okay, so now the Democrat Party are not only progressive, but they're psychic? You're telling... I mean, seriously, guys, are you guys getting your news from the same guy that sold Jack his beanstalk bean? I mean, are you guys inheriting magical powers here? I mean, are you guys all X-Men now? We got a bunch of Charles Xaviers rolling around, reading people's thoughts? Because as far as I can tell, and as far as the research that I've done, and I've checked both sides, he's never said anything like this. All right. I had to get that out of my system, guys. Now, I said at the beginning of the video that I think there's a chance for hope here. And I really, really, really do. But it depends on everybody. It depends on everybody. We watched somebody try to shoot the leading presidential candidate, possibly the guy that's going to be the next president of the United States. We watched somebody try to assassinate him on live TV. All right? That means that something is wrong. Something is very wrong with the messaging that is getting out there to people. So it needs to change all the way around. You know, when you go around and you tell people that your opponent is going to usher in communism or your opponent is going to usher in fascism, nobody knows what the actual policies are. So they're voting out of fear. That doesn't help anybody. That helps nobody. Zero. Not a single person, not a single citizen. It's not going to make anything better that we're voting out of fear. It's not going to make anything better that we're voting because somebody told us that the other party is communists or the other party are fascists. We're not going to be able to make the country better that way. Don't you understand? We need to know what these people plan on doing. We need to be able to select the most qualified candidate by their record, by their accomplishments, what they've already done. We're in a very unique situation that both of these people have been or currently are the president of the United States. We don't have to make this guessing game. But what we do have to do is we have to stop lying. We have to stop lying to the American people. It does not serve anybody. You're acting like children. Any elected official right now, I'm speaking directly to you. These games don't help. They make it worse. You make it worse. Stop acting like children and act like elected officials. Act like the people that we thought you were when you got our vote to begin with. Show us that we can come together, that we can stop all this crazy talk about Nazis and communists. Show us that we can come together as a people, that we don't have to be like this. We have a very good opportunity right now, everybody, to show the rest of the world why we are number one, why we are the greatest country in the world, and why this experiment continues to go and continues to prosper today. We can do it. We really can. We just have to stop with the bullshit. We have to stop with the lies. And let's report about each other honestly and fairly. Let's not jump to wild conclusions. Let's not insinuate what the other person means, and let's go for what the policies are. When did we stop voting on policy and we started voting on popularity? I hope you guys see this, and I hope that this ends up becoming an opportunity for all of us to show the world that we're better than this. We're American. That used to mean something, and it still does. Can't wait to see you guys on the next one.